Hello, my name is Lorena de la Cruz, and I'm going to talk about input and what I understood about it. Okay, it is the language data which the learner is exposed to. That means that it could be the radio, and also it could be some podcasts. Also, it could be some books in the target language, and those are the things that we can hear, that we can read in the target language. So those are the resources. Yes, it's kind of resources in the target language. So that's input. So let's talk about the intake. About intake. Well, intake refers to the part of input which the learner comprehends and acts on to develop his or her internal grammar of the target language and its rule of use. Okay, in this point, in the intake part, the learner is already able to know how grammar works, how English works, how the target language works. So in this part, intake, they are able to do it, and some grammar points. So that is what I understood about intake. Okay. So now let's talk about to the factors that might help to transfer input in intake. Okay, so we already talked about input, we already talked about intake. Now we are going to talk about some points that the reading mentioned about these factors. And the first one is comprehensible input in terms of linguistic forms and additional context. Okay, so also we have personalized utterance, linguistically simplified language, the use of concrete reference, and a positive learning environment. And well, a slightly more advanced level of input. That means that the individual is exposed to a slightly more advanced level of input. Okay, for example, if that person is in an intermediate level, that person could be go further, go beyond to that level. So that means this first point. And the personal utterance, it says simplification makes it easier for the individual to recognize the unit of forms present in the input. Okay, it could be a little bit more easier for them. Not talk about. It could be, yes, a little bit more easier in order to understand the context, the whole context. And also the the last point is a positive learning environment. So this could be a little bit more like support and engagement and motivation in the class. So that helps to have a better learning in a second language. So that would be a factor that help to transfer the input in intake in a positive learning environment. So the motivation is the best in a learning of a second language. So that would be all. Thank you.